What's up? Hello. You are here because you just took some action. I'm proud of you. Good job. Congratulations. You are one step closer to AI growth. We make this whole system simple. The whole point of our program is to help you show up for business owners who can't show up in their business themselves. It's very simple. We use AI solutions to empower business owners to grow their business without sacrificing time and energy. Now, because you've taken action, I want to give you a reward. You've already taken one step. That's one tick towards your application where you are now approved in my eyes. So if you take a little bit more action, you will be able to see a ton of success. What I have outlined for you next is an exclusive behind the scenes breakdown of how we identify the best solutions and apply AI for our businesses. This is a 2-hour masterclass dedicated to growth for any business. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, Trey John, you want me to watch a 2-hour long video? Yes, because it's that valuable. And if you watch this whole video, you'll have a solid understanding of what is the best offer for AI agencies moving forward and how we are scaling to dominate the market over the next 5 years. You will be one of very few people with access to this kind of insider knowledge if you watch the video. Now, I'm giving this to you because you took action. I want to give you a present. Okay? Take advantage of this opportunity because it's limited, right? That clock is counting down for a reason. We are closing applications very soon. So I want you to get all of this value, and I want you to be able to take action to make your growth simple so we can make your business clients happy and make you happy because you're able to deliver a ton of impact and grow with a fun community. We've all tried to build solo for so long, and at this point, the best team that comes together will be the one that dominates the market over the years to come. And I want you to be on that team. Okay, cool. Watch the video below, exclusive content. All of your questions will be answered. We will then meet one-on-one to talk about your story, your journey, and why you want to become an AI growth partner. If you check all the boxes, you'll be approved. This is a paid membership, just for transparency. It's not free. It is paid. But for you, I'll make you a little deal. Show up on the call, and we'll talk about it. Cool? Cool. I'm going to give you all the systems. I'm going to give you all the steps. I'm going to give you everything that you need. Answer every single question. My first gift to you is this exclusive content, okay? I want you to succeed. So even if you don't walk away from our meeting accepted into the program, you will still have a foot, honestly a leap ahead of anybody else in this space, okay? So please take this content and enjoy. Once you are done, book the meeting, and I will see you there. Peace. Every business has two main functions. It is to generate new clients, and it is to deliver services to those clients. And then we do that in a repeated cycle that is automated. That is how you scale a business, and that is what applies for every single business owner. The number one issue that every single business owner faces is they struggle with being able to show up in their business. There's somewhere where they really like to show up and they can do it decently consistently. And then there's all the other places that they're like, I fucking hate this. I don't want to do this. My team never does this. They don't want to do cold calling. They don't want to follow up with these leads. Onboarding is a wreck. I just want to build houses, for example, if you're a contractor or a roofer. If you're a marketing agency, I just want to run ads for my clients, right? But they aren't doing the fulfillment, or they're not doing the follow-up with their leads, so I'm not getting results. So right, there's all of these places where, as a business owner, we have to wear so many hats, and only one person can only do so much. Now, what has never been possible before without AI is the capacity to show up literally everywhere in your business with like a 1 or 2 person team. Because AI takes the role of like 10 people and costs half of what a person would. There still needs to be people who understand how AI systems work so we can build better systems, or understand how your business needs to work so we can build better businesses. There still needs to be a sales team in place. So this isn't about replacing staff. It's more about empowering that staff to focus on showing up where they are the best at showing up, where they're excited to show up, where they're going to make the most money for showing up. Yes, doing follow-up is necessary to be able to make money in your business, but everybody hates it, so why not solve it? Now, with that being said, the way that we actually identify where businesses are struggling to show up
is by just asking them. Like, it's just, are you genuinely curious enough? Are you authentic enough? Are you genuine enough in your care to be able to show up for a business owner in your niche that you're excited about and ask them a question? Hey, what was your biggest challenge in 2024? Are you interested in growing your business? What do you think has been stopping you? And if you just keep asking those questions and you genuinely want to show up for these people, there's going to be somebody who's been waiting for you to show up to be able to provide a solution, or to at least express, to talk about what their pains are, to talk about their challenges. We as business owners end up in silos where we don't have anybody to talk to. Nobody understands our problems. We feel like we're doing it all alone. And if you can show up with some care as a service provider, that is already a ton of value that any business owner can leverage immediately. If somebody's actually listening to them, okay, somebody can speak their language. Now, we're going to jump in and actually look at where these bottlenecks in any business can arise, because these are the same processes that every business has to go through. Again, we're generating clients so that we can sell to them, and we are delivering services to clients after we sell to them. And we have a system that does that on repeat. So these are the micro systems that build that greater system. Every business needs an offer, right? Your business does not function if you do not have an offer. What happens when you run a business without a clear offer is you don't run a business, you run a custom solution. Let me try to offer 10 different things to 20 different people and try to figure out what sticks. And that is no way to scale your business. You end up trying to do everything without any sort of direction, and you're just chasing anybody who's willing to give you some money. And that is no way to be able to resonate with your ideal client, right? There's somebody out there who you want to work with. Right now, we are at a stage in AI where literally, if you partner with the right people or you have the right skills yourself, you can literally work with any business in the world. There's not a single industry that is saturated. There's not a single person who is too high profile for you. If you have the right people in place and you genuinely care about providing value to your ideal client, you can work with anybody. So a lot of offer creation is about finding alignment and who do you actually want to work with? What is the transformation that you want to deliver in that business? What are your current skills? What is your current availability? What are your goals? So if you don't have the skills that you need to be able to deliver an incredible transformation for your client, okay, then now you know that you need to go find a partner to be able to deliver incredible value with those clients. If your goals are to scale up to $100,000 a month and build a seven-figure agency, okay, well, you need to pull together the resources to be able to do that. All of these things are what we consider when we're creating our offer, because our offer is the core of our business. The offer is about transformation. It's not about a piece of tech that you're delivering. It's not about your systems. It's not about, oh, hey, come call my voice AI caller because it's cool. No, it's about what is the actual impact of getting to work with you. Businesses don't care if you're running ads or you're running email or you're running an AI caller. They care about the impact of leveraging your services in their business. They care about how much money can they make? How much time can they save? And when can these systems actually be in place? This is why weight loss offers work so well. Hey, I'm going to help you sell, or I'm going to help you lose 30 pounds in 60 days. So when I show up and I see that offer, it's very clear to understand what am I getting out of this relationship. There's no guessing. There's no like, oh, I mean, maybe we're going to go figure out, I'll show up on the sales call and find out why I'm going to show up on the sales call. No, you have to tell people exactly why they need to show up. Hey, I'm going to help you double your revenue within 6 months. And then we put some other little pieces inside of our offer to reduce friction. So our done-for-you system is going to double your revenue within 6 months with happier clients, and our white label services guarantee success for you and your clients. So now they know, oh, they don't have to do any work. All of these systems are done for you. This is something that they can use in their business and for their clients, and we will be doubling their revenue within 6 months. Right? So it's a very clear offer that when you show up and you see that, it's like, oh, okay, there's enough value that I'm going to spend 30, 45 minutes on a sales call now, right? So we have to put together an offer that is like a no-brainer. It is sexy for anybody who sees it, and they're like, all right, I can spend 30 minutes of my time, because this is an exchange here. I saw somebody raise their hand. I'm going to finish up offer creation and funnel creation first, and then I'm going to ask, I think it was Tony Gordon is the name I think I saw. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you what your question was in just a second here. So the first piece of every business is their offer creation. So what I want you to think about here is how does this apply to your business, right? If you're building an agency, you need to have a super sexy offer that is super valuable for anybody who wants to convert. And oh my God, I think somebody that I love just showed up on the call. Okay. I have a lot of friends in this space, so I just saw a name that made me excited. You want to make sure that this offer is super sexy for your business, but also if you're working with a client and they don't have a great offer, if they have a shit offer, then that's a service that you can provide for them as well. So if your clients are struggling and they haven't been able to show up and make a great offer for their business, they're not able to do really anything else. There's no scale there. There's lack of clarity in the direction that they need to take. So this is a service that can also be provided to clients. It's offer creation. It's pretty much just a mindset shift. How can we make it super clear on how we can shift our prospects to be excited enough to book an appointment? Because it's very clear why they should book an appointment. The funnel creation is how do we actually get this offer in front of the market so that they can be educated on why they need to work with us. The major piece here is if you don't have alignment in your offer, if you don't really care about your offer and your ideal client doesn't really care about your offer, or same thing for the clients that you're working with and creating their offers, if the message doesn't resonate with them and it doesn't resonate with the target audience, nobody's gonna fucking care. So your whole business is an extension of you. Care and effort and authenticity that you put into your business is what's going to shine through on the other end. If you're doing stuff that you don't care about, nobody else is going to care about it. So just show up as yourself. Don't feel like you have to put on some fake persona, pretend like you have all this experience when you don't, or act like the key here is don't act like anything. Just be yourself. Behave as you. You're here, so you're obviously genuinely excited about AI. You're going to be successful. And that's what the funnel is here to express is you genuinely have shown up and care. You've asked the questions to the business owners you want to work with. You've shown up on social media and been authentic and said, hey, I care about my ICP. I really love working with marketing agencies. This is all the problems that you guys have been experiencing. I've been talking to you. I know I can solve it. Can we have a chat? Cool. Go watch my VSL. If you're interested, book an appointment. I would love to see you. Because I genuinely care. Right? Discovery questions. When you have a form and somebody's booking an appointment and they need to fill out some qualifying questions, ask the questions that you care about to know the answers for to better serve the people when they show up on the sales call. Right? Pre-appointment video. This is a thank you video. Like, hey, thank you. You're gonna show up, and I'm so glad you are because I care. And usually we also we'll just set some expectations for the sales call to make it a bit easier. Right? So this is the go-to-market strategy. It seems like these are the pieces that are necessary to be able to actually generate leads, have a sales strategy or a marketing strategy in place, actually start to sell people, and then deliver. Without a really solid strategy in place, education for your target audience and a clarity in your offer, the rest of your business doesn't function. And this is the same thing for you agency owners who want to do service delivery, but also the businesses you're working with. So you want to make sure if your business owner doesn't have a great offer, okay, well, we need to solve their offer. Okay, but now they don't have a funnel or a VSL to educate people on their offer and actually get them to self-nurture and book. Okay, great. Well, we'll put together a funnel. But if you have your great offer, you have a great funnel, but you have no traffic going towards that funnel, okay, well, the next bottleneck is we need to do lead generation. So this is the same system for your business. After you get these two pieces in place, you need to do lead generation for yourself. Your clients are going to need the same exact thing. So that's when we need to solve the next bottleneck, right? Lead generation. A point to keep in mind here while I go through this is you'll notice that each of these steps that we're going through string together and they build into the next step after it. Right now we're on lead generation. We went through offer creation, funnel creation, we're on lead generation. The reason for this is if we go through these systems step by step in order for your business, you'll notice as you're doing market research and speaking to your ICP, the businesses that you want to work with have to also go through the exact same step-by-step process. Now, it's so much easier to understand how to offer a full end-to-end solution to clients if you've already built the same end-to-end solution in your own business. You understand the value. It's easy to articulate and communicate what is the point of these systems because they're already working inside of your business. you need to do lead generation. Your clients also need to do lead generation. So you can do it for yourself, so you can start to generate leads, and then you can understand how that works for your clients, and you can leverage the same kind of solution. None of these solutions work as a silo. So if my business owner has a bottleneck of, oh, they're not generating enough leads, somebody might say, okay, well, I don't know too much about running ads for clients, but what I can do is I can give my clients a ad generator template, right? So they can just put in a little bit of information that generates a template to run the ad, and they can just go post that on Facebook ads, and that's going to solve that problem for them. If your client doesn't know anything about actually setting up Meta Business Suite or identifying a target audience or pushing the budget up to at least $2 a day for 2 months, your client's going to fail before they even got started. So that's not a solution, right? When we think about actually solving a problem, we need to think about the full system. If I'm offering a template, look at all these other problems that just came up. They now need to go figure out the business suite. They now need to go ahead and set the budget. They now need to go ahead and identify target audience. They now need to do like pixel tracking if that's something that they want to do. What's a better solution? Saying, hey, I'm going to do all this stuff for you. I'm going to show you how it works, so you don't have any confusion about what to do to be able to set up an ad and generate leads with your business. I'm also going to continue to optimize the ad for you over the next 2 months, so we can be able to build something that works so well and continues to consistently generate business for you without you necessarily having to do the work of figuring it out by yourself. All you need to do is show up with the budget. Okay, that's a solution. And that's how you solve lead generation. If it's like generating leads that are consumers. Typically B2B lead generation, anytime it's a business, dude, you can find business information anywhere on the internet. Like Google Maps is flooded with businesses, right? LinkedIn, so many businesses. Apollo, so many businesses. Web scrapers can get most contact information for businesses because that information is public. So when we're doing B2B lead generation, it's cold email. It's cold calling, right? We're allowed to call people and say, hey, I have a business transaction for you. My name is Trey John from Infinite XAI, and I'm giving you a call to see if you're interested. AI cold calling is not illegal when you follow the regulations inside of TCPA. It is the Telecommunications or Telemarketing Consumer Protection Act. The point is it's protecting consumers. Businesses are allowed to do business transactions with each other. That's why they have their phone numbers posted all over the internet, so people can call them. So you can call them. My point here is, again, when we're offering a solution for lead generation or any of these other steps, it's not in a silo. We can't just say, oh, here's a cold calling script, because now that creates the problem. Okay, they actually have to pick up the phone, find leads, pick up the phone, call those leads, follow up 6 times over the week, and try to book an appointment and close the deal, right? So you didn't just solve their lead generation problem by giving them a cold calling script. You just gave them more work to do and more problems. And if they already couldn't show up in their business to do lead gen without you giving them the script, your script is not going to help them suddenly be able to show up in their business. So the mindset for all these solutions is, how can you show up in the business for your owner so they don't have to show up there? And if you don't have the resources to show up there, then you need AI to show up there, right? So that's your new resource. That's your best friend. That's your business partner, is AI. I'm going to pause for just a second. I know that we're making pretty good progress here, and I feel like I'm rolling through well. I've seen some questions pop up, so let me pull up the chat for just a second. Look at this infinity loop. I hope that it's not too confusing for anybody. Also, thank you so much, Max, for hosting all this. I wanted to give a big shout out to Max because he's just been super a regular value provider inside of my community on school, and has been engaged with me since I think all the way back in like April or March. We've been in contact. So it's really great to see all of the work that he's done, and to be able to bring so many awesome entrepreneurs into one space, people who are excited about this tech. It's dope. So shouts out, Max. Thank you, Max. And also shout out all the other presenters. Okay, Paul, you're killing it. Thank you for sharing my YouTube stuff in here, and keeping everybody up to speed on where they can find me. That's great. Who asked the question earlier? Was it? I think I saw Tony something, but I don't see If Tony or whoever it was that raised their hand earlier still has that question, go ahead and unmute yourself and just let it fly. And if you don't do that in the next 30 seconds, I mean the next 3 seconds, anybody else can ask a question now. The time limit is up. Keep us using phrase show up in your business. Yes, dude, I'm gonna keep using that. I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to assume anything. Can you explain? I'm gonna answer that one. Who was about to ask a question here? Go ahead.
I'd like to ask a question.
What you got?
Okay, so what was suggested is that you have an offer that we
Yes.
use. Okay, my channel is cold email. Would you suggest that a cold email that have an offer prepared?
A cold, sorry, you cut off a little bit there. A cold email that has a what?
An offer. Like I'm trying to get the attention of people who don't know me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, is it practical to have an offer right off the bat, or is it more about raising curiosity and interest for them to buy and then offer something?
If you follow I guess traditional marketing, they're going to tell you awareness, interest, it's AIDA, right? I think awareness, interest, decision, action. I think a lot of that is bullshit because at this point, so many people have used that approach that it's just gotten, the market has been desensitized, right? The stimulus is no longer triggering a specific action. And there's just been a lot of like BS in marketing from other people. There's a lot of people who genuinely have value that have used that methodology, but there's also, all the people who are just like, hey, I'm going to sell you some shit, but I'm going to wrap it in a Christmas present, wrap it in gold, and now here you go. So what I find a better method for generating interest is just showing up authentically and being direct. Like, everybody just wants information efficiently and effectively, and that's what your offer is here to do, is to be able to communicate exactly why you're showing up in their inbox, or why you're posting this content, right? Who are you serving? Why you're DMing them, right? Why are you on YouTube right now? Like to explain whatever it is you're explaining. All of it has to come from a genuine desire in you to show up for your ideal client, and you show up by being authentic, giving them value, and asking the right questions. It's just speaking their language, making them feel heard and understood. It literally can just be like, for content, for example, it can just be turning on your camera and talking about your ideal client's problems for 10 minutes. And it's going to end up in front of your ideal client. They're going to say, wow, this guy actually understands what I've been facing. I felt so alone this whole time. And that is the value that you can share, is like, people don't have to feel alone in their business anymore. Same thing in your email. You can show up and just say, hey, ICP, I found your information because I was doing some research and I really wanted to reach out to you. I help you achieve a specific result in specific timeline, and I do it without you having to do any more work, right? If you are interested, I would love to shoot you over VSL so that you can learn more. And if it makes sense, I think you're a great fit to value proposition, to double your revenue within 6 months, right? That's my approach, because it's just like, it's to the point. Not everybody converts. It's the people who aren't really that interested in the first place are the ones who don't really convert. And I find that I would rather have sales calls with people who are excited to show up, who I didn't have to like convince that I was valuable. I was just like, hey, this is what I do. Does it make sense for you? And if they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense, or it's at least worth 30 minutes to see if it makes sense, but the opportunity is big enough that I can spend 30 minutes on it, cool. I don't like beating around the bush. I'm also not the type of person to beat around the bush. So my style is rooted in me being able to authentically show up as myself. So John, if you have a slightly different style, if there's experience in your life that maybe means you're a little funnier than I am, or a little more witty than I am, approach it with your own personality in mind, because how you show up in your marketing, how you show up in your organic content, how you show up in your VSL, all of that stuff is going to paint a picture of who you are for the people who show up on a sales call with you. So if you're showing up one way in your VSL and then you show up on your sales call and it's clear that you're faking it, right? that's gonna lead to a bit less resonance with your ICP on the sales call. And same thing for customer delivery and onboarding. If you're the one who's showing up to continue to manage those customers, and you set a certain persona in your marketing and a certain persona in your sales calls, if that's a fake persona, you still have to maintain that persona in all of your customer success and reporting calls after that. So it's just like the amount of energy to maintain a facade is so much more taxing than just showing up as yourself. And if you have a clear offer, just show up as yourself and tell them what the clear offer is. It's going to save you the headache. Thank you for your question, John. Debbie Davis, you keep using the phrase show up in your business. I think I know what you mean, but I don't want to assume anything. Could you explain? Just show up. That is the whole epitome of like running a business pretty much. Is there's 4 sections you got to show up in. You have to show up in putting together your go-to-market strategy, offer creation and funnel. You have to show up in your marketing, which is business development. Okay, so that could be organic content, that could be cold email, that could be ads, whatever. You have to show up in sales. That's the actual like sales prep and sales call. 30 minutes, hey, I'm going to do a discovery and figure out what's going on in your business, and et cetera, et cetera. We'll cover my approach in just a second as well. And then you have to show up in customer success, which is onboarding and delivery. Right? So these are all of the places where there is some sort of activity, action that you have to actually show up to do to be able to fulfill that role. Right? Now, if I am a business owner who, for example, say I run a roofing business and I'm the one who's showing up to actually fix the roofs. Can I show up and answer the phone all day? Can I show up and do admin work? No, I can't. I'm on the roof fixing the roof, right? So the business owner wants to focus on showing up to fix the roof. He needs support in hiring other people. That's why we hire, receptionists, right? So they can show up and answer the phone for us. That's why we hire accountants, so they can show up and do taxes for us. That's why we hire agencies, so they can show up and do whatever that agency is. That agency's services, right? Marketing or ads, right? So our responsibility is to just show up for that business owner. And the only way we know how to show up is by asking business owners, hey, where do you fucking hate to show up? And also, if you don't like my language, I do apologize, but it's going to keep happening. I get excited and it just all kind of goes out the window. So show up where business owners don't want to show up. And thank God we have AI to show up where we don't want to show up for business owners who don't want to show up there either, right? I don't cold call for your business, but I love training AI that can cold call for your business. Or I don't want to necessarily follow up with leads all day, but AI that loves to text, I don't want to have to onboard your clients for you, but I have automations that it'll just do it itself. So automations, AI. Those are methods for showing up in somebody's business for them. You also need to show up in creating a strategy. So for example, if we're offering an end-to-end solution here, from offer creation to funnel creation, I'm going to get through the rest here in a minute. You might have AI show up to do the qualifying. You might have AI to show up to do the appointment booking. But you could still show up for that business owner and helping them put together an offer. And that would just look like a 30-minute or an hour-long offer creation session, right? So the business owner didn't have the time to go do all the research on understanding how to create a good offer, blah, 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 blah. So you showed up for the business owner by showing up here, right? Today, you're here learning how to create a better offer. So now you can go to your clients and say, hey, let's do 60 minutes of an offer creation session to make sure your offer aligns with your business goals and aligns with the people you want to work with. Okay, so you just showed up to a 60-minute consultation to be able to deliver that service. And you showed up to all of the research before that 60-minute consultation to be able to deliver that service. So that's what I mean by just show up. It's literally just show up. Like whatever function needs to be fulfilled and the business owner doesn't have the resources to show up themselves, you need to show up there. And you can figure this out by identifying what the bottleneck is. They're not getting enough sales calls. Okay, well then somebody's not doing enough lead generation and qualifying. Or maybe they have plenty of lead generation going on, but they don't have enough follow-up and qualifying and converting of the leads. Their conversion rate's too low. Okay, well somebody needs to show up to do follow-up, more touch points. We're going to call these leads and text these leads and email these leads every day for 2 weeks because they opted in. They obviously want the information, and we're not going to stop until they answer and convert, or they answer and tell us to shut the fuck up, right? No human is going to do that. No human is going to, I mean, very few humans are going to actually do 20 follow-ups with a client or with a prospect who never said anything. But that's what AI can do, and it actually does convert more people, right? We get busy, we forget about that thing we signed up for, and then it takes somebody saying, hey, 7 or 8 times for me to say, oh, okay, I'm actually going to take that action now. And when people opt in, we are literally, it is our responsibility to reach out to them and they respond back to us. They opted in, they want this information. If we just give up and stop trying to give them the information, we're not doing our jobs. And again, thank God for AI, because AI cannot do that for us. So again, that's what I mean by just show up, is literally show up. You do the same thing with your content. You show up on YouTube authentically as yourself for your ICP by talking about their problems, making it clear that, like, hey, they're not alone, and giving them some value. The value could just be you showed up authentically, smiled, and you made them smile today, which is, a beautiful blessing, something to be grateful for. But it could be, hey, I'm going to teach you how to build this entire automation flow. I have several 6-hour long YouTube videos if you want to go watch how I give value to people. So there's a whole bunch of ways to do it. I'm typically leaning towards, I'm just going to turn on my screen and show you guys what I'm building today. Which I'll also do a little bit behind the scenes for that. But I'm going to keep rolling forward. I'm actually going to check the chat one more time real quick. I would remove the word just. It makes it sound like it's supposed to be simple. It is. There is nothing simple about it, and that will lead to disappointment. I hear your hesitation there. My consideration is my whole offer is literally called Growth is Simple, because the market and a lot of people's mindset is that growth is difficult, and it's not. It is literally, it's literally just show up. Like I say just because it is that simple. Like, you don't have to do it by yourself, is my point. If you can find people who can do it with you, again, I offer white labeled services, so I'm one of those people who can do it with you. I'm here to make it simple. So when I say just show up, I do mean that, because I have made it so simple that all you have to do is just show up where you want to. If you love taking sales calls, hey, we help build your offer with you. We help build your funnel with you. We actually do the service delivery for you and give you the product that you want to go sell. So you can just show up and do the sales, right? I'll show up with you and do consultation with you, weekly, to make sure that you are functioning in your role the best that you can. And we just have to show up together. So yeah, it is that simple. I can't put it any other way. It just is that simple. It doesn't have to be hard. AI makes it easy. And when you do it enough times, like, repetition forms a habit, it becomes practice. You know how to show up consistently because you're just doing it. It's not hard to turn on your camera and make a YouTube video once you've made a couple. It's not hard to push the button and start an email campaign after you understand how email campaigns work. You just upload your lead list, push a button, it goes. It's not hard to do research to learn these things, or reach out and ask for help, or pay somebody to do these things for you when you know who to pay. And there's plenty of people out here like, hey, give me money and I'm going to make your life simple. And that's what it should be. Like, I want to make it clear, complicated and difficult and hard, that's not high ticket sales. Nobody is going to give you a lot of money because something is complicated and difficult and hard. So it's intentional that we make these things seem simple. I'm intentional about saying, hey, it is simple because I'm literally going to do it all for you, so that people give me more money and give me a percentage, and they don't have to worry about it. That's why people are confident in giving me, like, high ticket prices, because I've made it simple. Like, hey, you don't have to worry about all the complexities. You don't even have to think it's complex. And trust you me, it was definitely complex for like the first year of this, for sure. But at this point, it is simple, because we spent 4,000 plus hours actually showing up and building this stuff. And now, if you want to go spend 4,000, 5,000 hours like building this stuff, you can. It's very possible. But also, if you don't want to do that, I understand. I've made it simple to show up and hang out with me, and we'll make it happen. Or I can point you in the direction of one of my partners, and they would love to work with you too. Thanks, Paul and Chase. Debbie, I hope that helps. I'm definitely not trying to be dismissive of your comment, and I understand that. But it's a typical mindset of the agency space right now, and as it has been for years, is like, hey, this stuff is hard. Growth is not this like, easy step-by-step process. I think the only person who really has made it seem easy is like Alex Hormozy. But a lot of this can be easy now that we have the tech in place. And I would love to kind of, if you're interested, book a meeting with me and we can talk about how you can show up in your business. Free 6-minute consultation to identify, why this can be simple for you. Be in brief, showing up, being actively, intentionally, and fully engaged in the roles, responsibilities, and mindset required to drive the business forward. Exactly. A lot of this does take like self-work too. Like if you have a history of not being able to necessarily be authentic with yourself, and this happens to all of us, right? There's a lot of suppressors around. So take some time to just like, drink some tea, maybe go for a little walk or something that just makes you feel okay, and then reflect on like how can you better show up in your business or for your clients. Take some deep breaths and really visualize what does it feel like to show up for a client and deliver transformation. If somebody came up and thanked you for delivering whatever the transformation is that you want to deliver, how would that make you feel? And lean into those feelings whenever you're building your offer and building the rest of your funnels. If it would make you feel grateful and confident and excited to be able to help a business owner double their revenue in 6 months, and they thanked you for doubling their revenue in 6 months, like I would feel like the shit. That's why I do feel like the shit. Excuse my language again. So feel that way when you're coming up with your offers, and it's going to make it easier for you to show up in that spirit, right? Get into the spirit of the thing. Okay. Trey John, are you at a level where you are doing JVs and taking equity or profit of people's businesses versus high ticket sales? Both of that. I am not asking for me. You just said something like that. I'm not asking for. Okay, cool. Thank you, Robert, for that clarification. Are you doing JVs? Yes, I will do JVs. I don't usually go out of my way to do JVs. As far as like showing up in somebody else's community to pitch something, not really my style typically, but occasionally, like I do have a lot of other partners in the space who have communities who like will bring me in just to chat, but I'm really just there to provide value. If you want me to come in and sell something and then you keep some of the profit and I keep some of the profit, I'm always happy to do that. My whole business model is all about partnerships, because if we can all make money together and are happy about making money together, everybody wins. So our clients win, the partners win, and we can build the best systems to be able to dominate the market over the next 5 years. And somebody has to step up and take responsibility of like changing the world. And that's us here in this space. And if we can do it together, then we're just going to be the strongest team that does it. Right? It's again pretty simple. Show up, build cool systems, find other people who also show up and are excited to build and leverage cool systems, and then we all get paid together and our clients make a bunch of money. So yeah. Equity or profit of people's businesses versus high ticket sales. Yeah, I do typically some sort of profit share for everything. Mutual interest, right? If they have skin in the game and I have skin in the game, everybody's incentivized to, make sure the solution happens. And also the technology continues to improve so quickly that if I was just to offer a software, okay, well in 3 months my software is going to be outdated and I'm going to have to go build another software, fix what's already out on the market, and now there's more of a headache. But if I'm a partner, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to give you this solution for now. I'm also going to give you these other pieces. And as the technology improves, I'm going to continue improving and just automatically adding that to your business without you even having to think about it. I'm just going to do that for you. Now, I'm incentivized to do that because I have a percentage in your business, right? And you are excited about working with me and giving me my percentage because you just, made all this extra money. Keeping your percentage of a lot of money is more than keeping 100% of no growth. Right. So I don't want people to necessarily keep 100% of what they're already doing. I want to help them grow to a place where they're happy to give me my fair share. Okay. Reese Poole, what is up?
You're obviously a seasoned veteran in this all, and I'm pretty new to the space. I was just wondering, if you're in my position where you've just started from zero, but you had all the knowledge you do now, what would you go about to basically growing in the space?
I would go about following this growth system, step by step in order. You need to start with your offer. Like this is I'm actually, to answer that question, I'm going to continue going through this growth system, and Reese, I will circle this back to tie into how it's valuable for you, for right where you're at. But offer creation is the foundation of your whole business. If you don't have an offer, you need to get an offer in place. If you don't know how to get an offer in place, you need to identify what are your current skills, what are your current goals, who do you want to work with, and what is the transformation you want to be able to deliver for that person. Again, you are allowed to choose anything you want as long as it really resonates and aligns with you. If you actually care about delivering that transformation to that ICP, you will show up every single day to do what you need to do to deliver that transformation, to get in front of that ICP to say, hey, I'm here to deliver this transformation. Your offer has to be something that excites you, that keeps you not necessarily motivated, but just keeps you excited and willing to put in the effort. So even on the hard days, you're like, I'm still excited about this. I'm doing something that I love to do, or I'm working with people I love to work with. So it's not a struggle even when it's hard. I'm willing to continue to just show up and do the processes step by step. Service delivery, again, delivery is not so important in your offer. Your offer is about what is the transformation that comes from working with you. Your deliverable is just however you make that come to fruition, but your offer isn't the deliverable. Again, it's not AI ads, it's not email campaigns, it's not organic content repurposed generators, it's not AI callers. It's what is the impact of working with you after that? So it's more money so they can go spend time on vacation or reclaim their life and their freedom, to reinvest in their business or whatever, right? Those are the transformation pieces that we're offer. Funnel creation, we've already talked about, so I'm going to keep kind of going ahead. AI lead generation or other forms of lead generation. Again, this is just about showing up to tell your ICP what is the transformation you want to deliver for them. What is your offer? AI qualifying and nurturing. So again, now leads have come through your funnel to your VSL. Your AI is there to, I like to use AI to call people after they've already booked an appointment. If they came through my VSL, my AI will actually call them just to have a short conversation with them to get a little bit more information to better prep our sales team. But you can also do this for people who opt in and never see your VSL, right? They might opt into a Facebook ad, fill out a form. Your AI calls them every day for 2 weeks until they answer. Says, hey, you wanted some more information about this? I'd love to give it to you. Here's the value proposition. We help agency owners in your exact space, double their revenue within 6 months. Can I ask you a few questions to see if this is a good fit for you? Cool. AI does the rest of the qualifying, schedule the appointment. Right, so this is something that typically a person would have to do. They'd have to call all the people who opted in, ask them these questions, qualify them, book the appointment. AI is just doing it for them now. But my point in this is, again, business owners don't want to show up to do this. So now we have AI that can show up to do it. And the way we decided that that's what needs to happen is because the business owner is struggling to do that. If the business owner is struggling to book appointments, don't offer them an AI that books appointments. That's not a bottleneck in their business. It's not going to be valuable to them. But you are still offering, double your revenue means, okay, well, to double your revenue, I might do a database reactivation instead of following up with like leads that are coming in. You have 5,000 leads that you never converted, that you've been just kind of sitting on for the last 5 years, and nobody's going to call them. Okay, cool. Well, I'll help double your revenue by reactivating that database. I'll help double your revenue by calling current customers and asking for reviews and referrals, so you can grow your business with real feedback and make your customers happier, which increases customer retention. And increasing customer retention by only 5% increases your revenue by 20%. So it's these little details of where can we show up to fix bottlenecks, where can we show up to increase conversion metrics, where can we show up just to make our clients and our team happier. All of those pieces are what end up generating that result of doubling their revenue. So you don't want to just say, oh, they definitely need more appointments. Maybe they don't need more qualifying for their sales appointment. I mean, every business does need this. I haven't found anybody who's like perfect at follow-up. So I mean, you 100% or like 98% sure will be able to offer something that is qualifying new leads. But it's just an example. If they are already qualifying new leads well, then you don't need to offer that. You need to find something else to be able to deliver that transformation. Sales prep. Sales prep is just getting ready for your sales call. Okay, sit down, drink some water, take some deep breaths, do a little bit of research. Make sure you actually understand who it is that you're about to meet with, just so you can be ready to ask the right questions. Not super complicated here in sales prep, but sometimes your business owners are not going to want to do sales prep. They're not going to want to go do the research. They're not going to want, or their sales team doesn't go do the research. Okay, well, if you can offer a solution that helps like an AI that goes and does web scraping, generates, a pre-sales call document that they can automatically email to the sales rep 5 minutes before the sales call is scheduled to start, right? That's an offer, or that's a solution that now helps them show up and do sales prep if that's somewhere where their bottleneck is. And you would identify that, hey, how well is your sales team converting? When they do have a qualified prospect, what's their conversion rate? Are they typically like, feeling excited during the calls? Like what's kind of their process for handling a sales call? Are they doing a lot of research before the calls? Okay, so right, we just kind of work through to figure out where are they not showing up. And that is the main cause of any problem in a business is somebody in the business is failing to show up. The business owner is failing to show up, or their team is failing to show up somewhere. Sales call. Sales call is also all about showing up. The actual sales call itself, the majority of it is you showing up to ask the right questions to be able to understand, like, and diagnose what is the bottleneck in the business. Where are you failing to show up in your business? I'm going to briefly share my sales methodology. I see that some of the questions I ran a little bit long on, so I'm going to kind of get through this a little quicker now. Sales methodology for just showing up is called the aligned method. If it's aligned, it's easy. If it's easy, it's aligned. When you're doing the things that you actually care about, it's not hard to do them. And in your sales calls, you need to be showing up and caring about the client that you're talking to. And this looks like building an authentic connection, asking them about their life. Why did you start your business? What about it actually gets you excited? Tell me more about what you're experiencing right now in the business. So this is about building a connection and learning their story, understanding like what actually is happening inside of their business right now. Where are they at currently? Where do they want to go? And what has stopped them from actually being able to achieve that? And this looks like literally 30 minutes of just discovering, asking more questions, investigating their current reality. And you can start to generate some insights like, oh, you're failing to struggle, your metrics are low here because you're having a hard time showing up here. So do you think if we were able to show up here 24/7 consistently and increase your metrics, that would actually lead to achieving that goal that you set? Right? Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Well, we're gonna fix this metric. We're gonna fix this metric. We're gonna fix this metric by showing up, and that should be how we can help you achieve that specific goal, right? Would you care if I kind of show you how we do that? Great. So your 30 minutes of discovery are what allow you to navigate what it actually looks like to work together. So, hey, you don't have enough lead follow-up happening. You actually aren't generating enough leads in the first place from your own words. Once leads are generated, nobody's following up, and it's really making your sales team struggle. And you're also losing your sales team because they're not getting enough qualified appointments and they're not happy, right? And that's all of the stuff that you said is happening. So what we need to do is we'll actually generate leads for you so that you can increase your funnel, your top of funnel, right? We're actually going to also qualify and book those appointments for you, so your sales team is going to be happier. So your customers are actually getting followed up with and showing up to buy some products. And now you have better customer loyalty, employee loyalty, and that's going to reduce hiring costs, reduce acquisition costs, increase your sales and your conversions, and overall make you more money while saving you on the costs. Everybody will be happier. Now that is how we're going to make this happen together. This is my offer to you, right? This is how we can work together. I solely offer partnerships, right? Because what I have found is business owners today don't want to do more work. They don't want to go learn a new software. They don't want to, like, that is it. It does not matter what it is. I could tell you, hey, I just need you to sit down for 30 minutes and find 10 people that you want to work with and would love to work with. Even that is like a headache to them. I show up like a week later, it's like, oh, did you get your list of 10 people? They're like, oh, no, I mean, I told my secretary to start to, get some stuff together, but she never got back. Whatever, right? More work, it doesn't matter how little it is. Like, if there's not enough outcome, enough obvious like reward for doing that little bit of effort, they're not going to do it. So I just do it for people, because what's easier than just giving me money and I'm like, hey, here is the system. I'm also going to run the system for you. I'm also going to update you on how everything's working, and I'm willing to improve the system based off of feedback that we're getting while running it. And every month I can give you a consultation call just to make sure that the strategy is still going in the right direction. We'll give you reporting, and we'll see what's the next biggest bottleneck in your business. If we solve, follow-up and appointment qualifying, then maybe we need to do an onboarding automation. And after we solve that one, we'll look for the next biggest bottleneck. Because every time we solve a problem, another problem's going to come up. And business owner, I'm your partner, so I'm just here to help fix all the problems for you. Okay. Cool. So that's pretty much what the sales call is. What are the bottlenecks? 30 minutes of just speaking their language, getting to understand what the bottleneck is, positioning yourself as a person who can solve those bottlenecks. Only if you genuinely feel like you can solve those bottlenecks, that you actually want to work with this client. If you're talking to somebody and you can't stand to do a 45-minute sales call with them, you're not gonna stand to be they're not going to be a good client for you for the next 6 months, right? You're going to hate every time you have to talk to them if you can't even get to a sales call with them. So if you genuinely are excited about working with this business, then you want to go ahead and make the offer to work with them. Tell them what it looks like to work with you. Give them a little roadmap of how long it's going to take to actually see the transformation. What are you going to do, as far as an onboarding call? Okay, well, we're going to do onboarding call, then we're going to start building the system, and then we're going to launch it. We're going to meet weekly just to make sure everything's going smoothly in the first month, and then it's off to the races from there. All right, so just make it clear what they're getting when they sign up with you. And then collect invoice, sign agreement. Your sales call is not done until agreement is signed and invoice is paid. If you didn't collect money on that sales call, you didn't close it. It is not done. It doesn't matter if they signed the agreement or said, hey, I'm going to go fill out the invoice later. If they've not paid you, you've not sold that client. That's just a good rule of thumb to have. If you're not finishing with that, you just did all the work for 45 minutes not to actually get their commitment. Getting the invoice is not so you get paid. It's not so you have money. It's so that your client now is committed to actually getting the help that they need. They need the help. It is your responsibility to help them, right? And for them to get the help, they need to pay and be committed to receiving the help. So it's not about I'm a money grubber and I need people to pay me every single time they meet with me. It's more like, I need you to be able to take some action. Stop thinking too much. Stop making it complicated, right? I'm here to just show up for you. It is simple, and I want to keep it simple, but only if you're willing to commit to letting me make your life simple. If you don't want me to make your life simple, then there's no point of us being here. Okay, that is my sales approach. Customer success and onboarding. I really wanted to show you guys the system that I built to make onboarding and delivery of these systems actually super simple. So I'm going to wrap up what this whole system is again. This is the system that you will use for your business. Reese, if you're building your agency from scratch, you want to go through this step by step. And again, this Miro board is actually free to the public. I have this link all over the place. Oh, look, Paul, you were asking for it. There you go. You got it. So you can go through this anytime. And Reese, I want you to actually go through and click on some of the resources in here. This offer creation resource is actually probably the best one out of anything else that's in here. Offer creation is really great. And then if you go find that aligned, this Gamma board here is also free to the public. So if you want to review kind of my sales methodology, that is for you as well. So 2 really great resources I just posted in the chat. Please check those out. Again, so to recap, every business, including you guys who are building your business and your clients, have 2 main functions. Get more clients, deliver for those clients, then the automations to do that on repeat. Your offer creation is the foundation of your business. You need to start there. If you don't have a good offer, you don't have a good business. All of the next pieces really just continue to build off of the pieces before it. So your offer is done. Your funnel is now how you actually nurture leads through what is the customer experience of engaging with your offer in your business. Lead generation is how you fill the top of the funnel now. Nurturing and qualifying is your middle of the funnel. Sales prep and sales call is your bottom of the funnel, and do delivery. If you want to be able to offer something that is an end-to-end system, you need to think about it like a system. When I solve one problem, am I actually solving that problem, or am I causing more problems? And if I'm causing more problems, then I also need to solve those problems, because that's the only way a high-ticket deal is going to work. Now, onboarding, delivery, how to build the agents and actually make it super easy. Typically, this is something that has taken most people. I mean, for a long time, this has taken weeks for some people to actually be able to build an agent for a company, have it functional I have cut that time down to 20 minutes. So I'm going to actually show you. This is a little secret here. You guys are the first ones anywhere other than my partners to ever see this. But this is my account setup automation, pretty much. I'm not going to go into the details of what every single one of these pieces do, but if I fill out this form here, I'm going to have to change that URL after this too, but pretty much I just have to fill out a form that is like, okay, what is the name of the business that I'm setting this up for? An FAQ, what is the product or service that we're working with? Who are they targeting? We set up some of their Go High Level, their private integration token, their location ID from Go High Level, get their Twilio information, their phone numbers, put in a little bit of context for how the AI needs to perform, and set a couple of webhooks. That form is submitted, and literally the entire system is now functioning inside of both Go High Level. A VAPI assistant is created, a texting assistant is functioning, and I'm actually going to show you guys this as like a functioning tool now. And that's how I'm going to wrap this up, is I'm actually going to show you these things working. I was going to actually submit the form and show you me actually like setting up an account from scratch, but then we ended up talking more about the actual system. This is really like a fun little bonus. Like, if you want to be able to deliver awesome like AI agents that show up in the business and the rest of this offer, you can always work with me. And again, I offer white label services to my partners. I prefer to work with business acquisition, so businesses that are literally going out and buying other businesses. That is my favorite industry. That is all mine. That is typically where I'm doing my done for you services at. But pretty much any digital product, online coaching, info product, e-commerce, anything that is purely digital in its delivery, that is typically where we're going to be able to do the most, see the biggest results with the least amount of headache, right? If you're trying to scale up a home services provider, HVAC, plumber, whatever, they still have to do their service delivery. They still have to show up somewhere. They might not have enough trucks or enough people on those trucks to be able to do the services. So there's only so many leads and deals that they can actually close. But if you're working with somebody who has a digital product that has infinite supply, it doesn't matter how many sales calls they take. They can keep spinning those deliveries up, right, in no time. If they don't even need to do a sales call, and it's just like somebody shows up to the landing page and buys their product, okay, then you can just generate a ton of leads to that VSL. The people who go to the VSL but don't convert, you can have an AI that does the follow up and helps them convert. And there's no bottleneck of like service delivery there. As long as the product is actually valuable, whatever the digital product is, then those people are going to be the easiest ones to scale with. Okay. Everybody else that's presenting this week is going to show you some cool stuff as far as like booking appointments with AI and other stuff like that. I have an AI calling and texting solution that allows me to schedule appointments with the voice assistant, which is what's happening up here. I'm going to just show you kind of the data that I like to track, and when I'm doing my AI calls, is call outcome, the reason for the outcome, the transcript of the call, summary of the call, recording of the call, duration of the call, the information that was collected on the call. We actually have a call log as well. So this is a history of every conversation that has happened with the assistant and this particular contact, so that you can see, okay, well, on the first conversation, the person didn't answer. Second conversation, they did answer, and then we talked about this stuff, and the appointment was booked. Great. This is the appointment that was booked. Here's the link. It's in here somewhere. Well, here's a link to the appointment in your conversations tab. Your opportunities pipelines are also being updated, so it's easy to see from a high level of, okay, I have all of these contacts that we're just talking to the AI. What ended up on all of those conversations? Well, we're automatically updating your pipelines as well. And then with texting, we can also automatically reschedule appointments too with an AI that can just like respond, and that's via WhatsApp or via SMS. I did want to kind of show you that in action, but it does all and again, it takes about 20 minutes to actually get functioning. Another 30 minutes of prompting the voice assistant, and then maybe another 30 minutes of prompting the text assistant if it's not perfect. But I also have an automatic prompt generator. The reason why all of this stuff can be set up in 20 minutes is because it automatically updates your entire Go High level. It automatically updates your entire VAPI. It automatically creates the assistant on VAPI with the tools. It automatically creates the tools on VAPI. It automatically writes the prompt for VAPI. So it's like, you literally don't have to do any work. You just fill out that form and the rest of the stuff happens automatically. Because I've already taken the expertise of 4,000 hours and built it into automations that do the work for you. That's how I'm showing up for you now. Is I'm taking my 4,000 hours, put it into an automation that you can use anytime, and now you don't have to do 3 weeks of onboarding or account creation or 4,000 hours of trying to figure out how to make it easier. You can just have the easier solution. That's all I have for you guys today. I am going to actually keep this open for a few more minutes. I mean, for as long as you guys want to hang out, I'll answer questions. I don't mind going over. If anybody does have to go, that is fine. But I am going to kind of stick around to keep answering questions because I like you guys and I want to. So go ahead, shoot, what you got? Oh, sorry. Before there are people who want to leave again. Go find my Growth is Simple program, the VFL. That's awesome. If you are looking to build your own AI agency to offer these kind of services, great fit for you. But also, if you already have clients or are running info product business, e-commerce business, digital product, online coaching, community, anything in that digital space, or business acquisition, and you need somebody to literally grow that business for you, are also a great fit for me. I would love to meet with you too in that case. If you have any referrals, anybody know anybody in this position who needs done for you services, I will also happily compensate you reoccurring, so month after month, not like a one-time, here you go. I will pay you every single month for referrals that close. Again, I'm all about finding people who are excited to grow in the space and want to grow together. So if you help me be able to help a client, I also want to help you do whatever it is that you want to do in your life. Get you paid and also even offer some free consultation too, because at that point, you're my friend, right? You help me help other people, so I want to help you. That is all I can do. That is everything I can do. It's a lot of stuff that I can do, and I want to do it with you. Okay, let's get into some questions. I'm hyped. Thank you guys so much for your attention and your energy this whole time. I knew that everybody was excited. I really wanted to show the system in action, but I'm going to post a YouTube video later this week. I just now decided. So yeah, if you want to see me actually use the system to set up an account, I am going to set up an account from scratch. It'll take like literally 20, 30 minutes, and I'll post that on YouTube later this week. So if you didn't already see my YouTube link, thank you so much, Paul, for pasting this in here so I can just copy and paste it again. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me, or you can also join my school community for other updates. Am I still sharing my screen or no? No, I don't think so. That's fine. I'm also going to paste my school community here as well. Shouts out Chase subbing. Chase, I also, as soon as you turned your camera on, I started smiling. I was like, let's go. It's another person in here that I like. Reese, you've been smiling this whole time. Jonathan, definitely the biggest smile. Just very engaged the whole time. John Cunningham, thank you so much for your great questions. And also Deb, was it Debbie or? Yes, Debbie, thank you for your question and the clarity on just showing up. That gave me a great opportunity to talk about the importance of mindset. If it's a line, it's easy, and we're here to make it simple. Simple is what sells high ticket, and I want to make your life simple. So now I will actually take questions. So Reese, you have your hand raised. What you got?
Right. Well, I'm basically sat here. I'm being presented with all this information. I'm not sure where to start. I've only been in this space for a couple months, and I'm joining all the calls, and I'm just getting bombarded with just everything. And I had like an idea of an automation I wanted to do. I've got some friends who are barbers, and they're constantly picking up the phone. And that's something I thought I could fix. Not that I can yet, but I'm not sure where to start. Like, I've tried building the bots. I'm having some complications. I'm not the best, but if I go to the community, there's not really like tailored support, and I can't really find anyone doing the same thing on YouTube. So how would you go about sort of?
Have you seen my YouTube?
I've not known.
Okay, go subscribe to my YouTube.
Okay.
I have long videos of literally just actually prompting an assistant in real
Yeah.
time with you, of building the tools from scratch with
Mhm.
you, of hooking it all up. So literally, like anything as far as the tech stuff that you need to learn, prompting really is just like building a muscle. You gotta do it to get good at it.
Yeah.
Without having the experience of training an AI, it's like training an AI is just like training a person. You have to understand how to clearly articulate what is the actual job you need to do and how do you
Yeah.
need to do it. So oftentimes we drop the ball and we give like 70% of the details that we think are important, and then we have AI try to figure out the rest. And that's usually why prompts are failing. So it's just about being very clear and thorough in your instruction of like, this is your job. And talk to your AI in second person. It helps the AI know how to speak to people better too. Little fun fact. If you prompt agents in the speaking language that you want the agent to speak in, so if you use a witty, funny, sarcastic style in your prompting, the AI is going to be better at being able to be witty,
Right.
sarcastic, etc. But go watch the YouTube, because I will actually I sit down and I do the stuff from scratch.
I mean, how did you start out 2 years ago? Because I can't imagine there was much
There
on
was
it.
nothing.
How did you learn?
I just time. I worked 16 hours a day for literally over a year straight. Um,
Oh.
I'm at 16 months on 16 or 17 months now, actually, on voice AI specifically. I've obviously expanded to do other stuff as well, email campaigns, and AI texting, and like the whole growth strategy. Like I'm a full business consultant at this point, but it started just by prompting. So when I got in, Air was kind of the thing that came out, and they had like a really very basic training program of like, hey, here's how you connect an API to go high level so you can trigger a call. They
Would you
have
suggest
really
over? Would you suggest go high level over cow.com? Because I know some people use cow, but I've had some.
yeah. I don't like Cal much, because it's just like the seamless integrations. Go high level already has a calendar feature built in, and all of my systems I API directly to Go High Level Calendar, which is
Right.
connected to my Google Calendar. So I book to Go High Level, I book to Google, right?
Yeah.
So it's just the convenience of like the integrations. And the reason I use Go High Level is because now I have all of my business functioning from the same platform, right? I can do my funnel creation from Go High Level, my social media scheduling if I posted social media content, all of my automations. Not all of them. I use N8N for a lot of like advanced automations, but for basic customer engagement, that's all Go High Level. My pipelines, my actual like management of the contacts Go High Level. The AI, my AI agents for the voice and for the texting are all integrated into Go High Level for me at this point too, because
Right.
I've built them to Go High Level. So yeah, that's why Go High Level is just like the one-stop shop for everything I need in my business pretty much. I just integrate other tools into that platform.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, the YouTube video you're going to want to watch is if you're looking at prompting, there's a 6-hour video.
Yeah.
If you want to have understanding of the tech stack, there's a 3.5-hour video where I go over each of the pieces of the tech stack. That's VAPI, Go High Level, N8N, and Twilio. If you want more prompting stuff, there's like a 6-hour video just after that. And then one of the most recent videos is like 5 hours and 50 minutes. And that's where I actually build out the automation tools for like scheduling appointments. So this is checking availability with the user on the phone and scheduling appointments with the AI on the phone. I build that tool out actually like step by step in front of you and connect it to Go High Level and stuff. So if you're a tech guy who wants to be, or if you want to become a tech guy, go watch that stuff, because like there's nothing else like that anywhere on the internet.
Okay. Thank you.
I can guarantee that, because people tell me that all the time. They're like, I've been looking and then I found you and now I have everything I need. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. That's what I'm here for. Yeah. Anybody else? Who's next? I know somebody's got something for me. Chomping at the bit. Raise your hand or just unmute yourself. Max, how have the presentations been? What do you think of this compared to what you've seen? Everything's going well. Any thoughts?
It's amazing, man. people like there's a lot of people that are building stuff, and we have access to a lot of templates in Jack's community to build stuff. There's a lot of struggles on how to like turn that into a business. So it's amazing.
Awesome. Cool. Cool. That's all I'm here to do is make sure that you're actually able to build something that is sustainable and enjoyable for you and for your clients. It's one thing to have a cool tool. It's another thing to have something that like actually functions for a business. And after talking to over 200 business owners and just spending so many hours on this stuff, it's really been a pleasure, and I'm grateful for all of that experience to be able to bring it here with you guys today. So I really do appreciate your commitment to spending this hour and 10-15 minutes with me, and show up for yourself, because you guys are the ones who are going to help us continue to change the world and change every business in it. So good stuff. That's all I got. That's all. The questions are done. I'm still going to just hang out until everybody pretty much leaves, because I don't want to leave the party before the rest of the guests are out. I'm a gracious host in that regard, but come meet with me if you need me. If you have businesses you want to work with me, you can be a partner. If you have businesses you just want to refer to me, I'll still give you some recurring revenue for that. Either way, whatever you need, I want to make your life easy. So yeah, get excited, have fun, growth is simple. Come hang out, watch the other presentations, because I'm sure there's other people in here that are gonna just like knock your socks off with more of the system stuff. I have some really great systems, but I'll just show that on YouTube later this week since I couldn't do it today. Cool. Mark, what's up? Mark, what you
Hey,
got?
Trey John, appreciate your videos. They're awesome.
Cool.
Just a quick question. I'm scared to go into N8N. I'm fairly familiar with Make, but can you just shed some light on, like, it seems like everybody is like, once they get to a certain point, they're like, well, you got to go to N8N for pricing and things. But from someone who's okay at no code, but not a developer, is that a scary trail to go down, or how do we approach that?
So if you're still, it's not necessary. You don't necessarily have to go to N8N, but the value of switching to N8N is threefold. One, your pricing is better when you self-host. That means you put N8N on your own cloud server, and you pay $6 a month to be able to use unlimited automations, unlimited actions in those automations, and you don't pay anything extra. That is unfathomable. Like to be able to do that kind of workload on Zapier, for example. I mean, Zapier you pay what, $29.99 for like maybe 400 actions. It's something ridiculously small that is just bad. Make is where I stepped up to from Zapier, and I used Make for a while, but where Make drops the ball is again in their pricing, and two, their error handling is actually like absolutely atrocious. If something breaks in your automation for like one client that goes through it, it completely stops your automation. Now none of your automations are working for any of the steps or any of the calls that need to be going through that automation or whatever. Your tools are no longer working because Make automatically turns off your workflow. I hate that. And when there is an error, it's just hard to understand like what actually broke. The value of N is, again, you can self-host it to save yourself the money, but also they have much better error handling. So you don't actually have to stop your workflow when something breaks. And there's more visibility in how to fix errors when they do come up. It will take a little bit of an adjustment, but it's still a visual automation flow builder, just like Make is. Where Make has modules, N8N has nodes. So you just drag your node into the place you want it to go. You hit test, and you can test all of your nodes out. If you're not completely sure if it's worth trying, one, they have a free account that you can sign up for and test. They have a ton of templates in the community, but also you can go watch my long YouTube video where I'm actually building a tool out on N8N, so you can follow along and see if you can grasp the concepts well enough, and that should ease your concern, right? Typically, the biggest like concern and worry just comes because we don't know yet, and the only way you can know is if you try real quick. So if you spend like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours watching my video and building alongside me, you'll be able to see if it's like easy enough learning curve. And if it's not an easy learning curve, you'll at least be able to identify, okay, how long do I think it'll take me to be able to build the skills necessary? But you've already built with Make, you're not gonna like super struggle. I actually learned automations on Make through their learning center, their free stuff. That's where I started. I started on Make with that, and I just switched to Innate in like 3 or 4. Oh, I guess at this point it's been like 4.5 months ago, and it was pretty easy to pick up because I'd already built for so long on Make. So that experience you have won't go to waste. It'll actually make it even easier to make the transition. But I would recommend go ahead and check out the most recent YouTube video. I think it's 5 hours and 50 minutes. You can skip to the end where I'm actually building the automations just to get a peek at what they kind of look like and what it looks like to build.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome, Mark. Reese, back at it again. Let's go. What you got?
It's a bit of a niche question, but regarding the automation, the 5 hour 51, does it cover? So say I'm doing barbers. There's people with multiple calendars in the same business. Is there a way to sort of, is there a way for Vappy to check
Multiple calendars in the same business? What I would do is, so it's connected to Go High Level, and Go High Level has a round robin calendar, which means you can like connect multiple members to the same calendar.
That's
then
fine.
we can just check based on the user. Typically what I do in those cases is I'll just book. So if users are calling and are requesting to meet with a specific barber, then you do need to make sure that you have the automation set up to actually like collect the specific barber's name and check Go High Level calendar for that specific team member. It's just an additional property inside of your HTTP request when checking calendar availability with the Get Calendar Availability node. I do also review kind of how to go through the API documentation on Go High Level to understand like how to actually build out the HTTP request. So you'll want to watch that video and try to start to grasp that. But it would be simply collect the barber's name that they want to book with, and then pass that value to the Get Calendar Availability tool, and you'll want to check for that specific user's count.
Right,
so yes,
thank you.
Cool. Maybe I'll do a video on that sometime. Maybe.
Maybe. Quite niche to be fair.
Because it's like, I do that question because there is like a universal, hey, like we can definitely book on appointments, but when it comes down to booking on multiple people's appointments using one AI assistant, it does get niche, and it's a little bit harder for people to figure out if this isn't something that you're doing all the time. So yeah, I'm happy to answer those ones.
All right, thank you.
Cool. And if you guys have questions about tech, business, sales, marketing, like literally anything, if you're still on the call, this is definitely the time, and I'm probably a good person to ask. I would say a lot of my testimonials would say the same thing. So I really just want to make sure that I can provide as much value as I can while we're here. Like the meeting is still open, so I will give you anything that I can in these moments. Please don't hold back.
Hey, what's up, man? Really appreciate the presentation tonight, or I guess wherever people are at in the world. Morning for Max, sounds like. But my question was, with regards to your business, how heavily would you say you're weighted GHL versus innate in? It sounded like potentially you build out some innate in automations for clients for their businesses. Yeah, I don't know if you could do that or shed some light on what that looks like. That'd be awesome.
I got you. So the majority of my systems, I've done a lot of both. So pretty much to start, I ran all of my automations inside of Go High Level. And I do that for convenience, right? If I don't have to pop over to a bunch of different platforms to be able to automate a task, I won't. And Go High Level has a ton of free automations, right? There's no API cost, and you just get to run it. But Go High Level also has these things called like custom webhooks and other custom actions that cost a penny every time you use them. I'm a penny pincher. I don't like to cost pennies where I don't have to. So I've intentionally taken some of my AI calling automations out of Go High Level. They're triggered from Go High Level, but the actual automation happens inside of N8N. So a lot of my systems are run kind of jointly, like N8N and Go High Level very much integrated into each other, which allows me to have my AI assistant integrated into Go High Level pretty much, which is huge. So as far as like customer engagement automations, most of that stuff can happen inside of Go High Level. Pipeline updates, CRM management automations, that all the Go High Level stuff. Anytime you want to be able to automate like even onboarding and other admin tasks, if there's like a form that needs to be filled out and that updates databases, like Go High Level has forms and surveys built into Go High Level. So form is submitted, triggers an automation, right? So I try to stick with using Go High Level for as much as possible. That way I don't have to necessarily go out to other platforms. But whenever there's something a bit more complex or I need to tie AI into it, if it's an AI automation, not just a standard automation, then I'm definitely using an N8N, right? So my AI texting it's triggered in Go High Level when a customer replies in the Go High Level, sends a message request or sends that message out to N8N to my agent so that my agent can write a response back, and then I use API requests from N8N to actually reply inside of Go High Level. So my systems are very much like tied in to like if you don't have both pieces, the systems don't work. They could work in part separate, but I intentionally built them out to be like as married as possible, just because it's the most efficient and effective. I don't mind taking the long way around, the harder route to build something that's going to be more powerful and save more money. I'm willing to do the things that are a little bit harder, but I'm also always thinking about how can I make the hardest things as easy as possible. I hope that answers your question. The answer that I would give is mostly in Go High Level if I can. Complex AI stuff, anything.
Yeah, dude, that was fantastic, especially giving examples of when you would use N8N for anything that's AI related, agent related. So yeah, I've been hesitant to pull the trigger on GHL just because I feel like I got it shoved down my throat so many times, and it was like, okay, already got into the Zoho realm. GHL is another platform to learn, but yeah, you did a great job selling GHL tonight. I will say that.
Should have put my affiliate link in here.
Right. Send that over. Yeah.
I actually do love them though. Like the first time I heard about Go High Level, wasn't a big fan. I had used it in another business and didn't like it, but once I started running my own business, that's when I realized how powerful it was. And it's worth using in your own business so you can really uncover how can you provide value with it to your clients. Yeah, but I love it. You just can't find a better platform that has all of your tools and all of your little like automations integrated in one place. It's like it's sick. Yeah, I honestly wholeheartedly would shout out Go High Level. N8N is also like a really good platform in my experience. I love using it. And I'm the same way about Vappy, right? Like there's a lot of voice providers out there. I've partnered with a lot of voice providers. I've done like system build outs with pretty much anybody you can think of. Thoughtly, Simple Talk, Bland, Retail, SynthFlow. I mean, literally any of the major ones and even some of the minor ones. Like I've built stuff, but Vappy is just like always from the very beginning. They're a tech company focused on building the best tech. They're not a sales and marketing company trying to sell you something. They don't actually do any sales and marketing. They literally rely solely on like organic traffic pretty much, and they put all their resources into just building the best products, which is why I love them, because they've done that and they continue to do that. I mean, OpenAI released real-time API, and literally 3 weeks later, OpenAI real-time API was built into Vappy, right? So it's they are constantly updating and are always at the cutting edge of everything that's happening out here. And they just also raised $20 million like a month ago. So it's like they were already the best, and they just raised a bunch of money to become even better. It's like Cool. So anytime you hear me like recommending a software or a tool or a service provider or anything, it's not just because like I've not used anything else or I've not considered the options, or because I have a personal relationship with them. I do have a personal relationship with them, but it's because they're actually the best. So yeah. Yeah, you can check out that tech stack video if you want to have a little bit more understanding of how I use Go High Level Chase, and how I use the rest of the tools in there. I have a 3.5 hour tech stack overview where I'm just covering exactly how I'm using Vappy, how I'm using N8N, how I'm using Go High Level, how I'm integrating Twilio with all that stuff.
Cool. Is it this is the full
That's
AI agents tech? Yeah, that's it.
Yep. This is the full tech stack. Yep, that's the one.
Got it right. I got it lined up.
Pretty
So
well known. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Who else got something for me? What do we got? Give it a go. Give it a go. Okay, cool. If that's it. Okay, what you got? Come on.
Oh, well, crap, I was going to bug you again, but
No, tell me.
you touched on it a little bit in one of your YouTube videos, and then again tonight. And it was actually very curious. So you'll save me time going back and reviewing your video. If on the way you prompt, because it seems like everybody's prompting from a template that is, here's your instructions, here's your, your markdown. And then when I saw you talking to Claude in the real language, that's the first time I've seen that. So can you talk to how you know that's a better approach? Because that was very curious to me. That seemed logical, but nobody seems to be prompting that way.
Yeah. So as far as when I'm speaking to Claude, Claude is literally learning what my speaking voice is like, and when we're taking calls, we're prompting voice AI assistants. So we don't speak naturally the same way that we like text, right? So if I'm prompting this agent in text, I'm using my texting voice, not my speaking voice. And that's just like a little piece that most people miss. It's just because we communicate differently depending on the way we're expressing ourselves, the medium we're expressing ourselves through. If I'm writing a note, I'm going to communicate differently than I'm typing on my laptop. If I'm speaking to you, I'm going to communicate differently than if I'm typing a message to you. So that is the thought process behind the method. Is okay, we have a different speaking voice. So if we want an AI to learn how to speak, we need to prompt in our speaking voice. That's the same reason why I prompt AIs in second person, where I say, hey, this is your job. You are doing this stuff. This is how you do it. I'm not like, AI needs to do this, AI needs to do that. Say, hey, dude, just keep it flexible, keep it natural, and have a fun time. Please remember to collect this information when we're doing these things. When you're using these tools, we need to get this information. Here's your knowledge base. This is all info about our business. So I still have structure in my prompts, but I treat training AI agents the same way I would train a person to do the job. So you need to speak to your AI like it's a person. So I'm speaking to Claude like it's a person, so it can put together a prompt that's speaking to my AI assistant like a person. And if I'm prompting, if I'm going in to tweak the prompt for the AI assistant, I'm still speaking to the AI assistant like it's a person, so that it can act like a person, so it can behave like a person, and it learns from every interaction it has. So it's learning on the call, but it's also learning from the way that I'm talking to it. So I turn on speech to text on my laptop pretty much, as I just like can double click my microphone button and I can start speaking. So that's the theory behind it. The reason I know that that is the best approach is because I have been building voice AI assistants since October of last year, and I have trained hundreds of AI assistants for voice. And the only way you could have done the amount of volume I've done in like prompting is if you had worked 16 hours a day for 16 months. So I don't expect most people to necessarily just assume that what I'm doing is the best stuff, but I can guarantee you here on this call that I put in the time to make sure that that is going to be effective. And just testing it on the market. Like you really don't actually know anything until people, like real human beings, are talking to the AI. So all of this is from feedback of like actual people talking to AI agents. Like you can think you have the best assistant in the world just from your testing, but until it's actually out there engaging with people, you don't know. So
Awesome.
that's all. I hope that kind of that's the full picture of it is
You-
speak like a person, and you're gonna train an agent that learns like a person.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I just found it interesting that that was the first time I'd seen that. So
Yeah, I've actually also never seen anybody else do it. But I did stop watching other people's YouTube videos a few months ago, so I haven't really seen much of other people's stuff for a little while. But I do hope it helps, Mark. I mean, it's really fun to go prompting. Either way, I think that's really what allowed me to figure this stuff out. I just had fun doing it for a long time, and I didn't mind working all day doing it because it was enjoyable. Something that's really fascinating about working with voice AI agents specifically is we're actually conditioning ourselves to be better communicators in these conversations. If I'm using speech to text to prompt my assistant, I'm now thinking something, but I'm also speaking it and communicating it. So I'm building better communication skills to articulate what it is that I'm trying to communicate. Um, I'm also actively rewiring my brain in that communication process. So I'm building better, better neural connections for being able to deliver information in a way that is effective. And then I test my AI assistant. So I'm actually calling the assistant, having this back and forth conversation. I'm getting immediate feedback in response to my communication. So I can see how clearly I'm actually speaking to the assistant in real time and getting that conversation back and forth. Now, what takes that a bit further is actually making that a use case. So using AI to gain clarity in your business or to do counseling or to do business consultation. I can talk to AI about the things that I've never been able to talk to anybody about and get feedback on my thoughts in real time as a soundboard, which helps me build confidence in my decisions, which helps me feel more comfortable with communicating and like verbally speaking the things that are concerning me, which gives me the clarity to be able to solve that bottleneck in my life, whether it's personal or professional, right? So AI is actually allowing us to be better people and getting to get your hands dirty and just spend time talking to AI in your training and using it for just like your personal use, just to gain clarity or just to have fun or just to like, be able to share your thoughts authentically and unapologetically. There's so much value there that allows us to be better people. Because we then take that kind of like authenticity and clarity out to our other relationships. And that has been the biggest value of being able to work with this technology over the last year and a half is I can confidently say that I am much more understanding of other people. And when I am miscommunicating, it is so much easier for me to identify that it's my fault. Like other people not understanding isn't on them. I'm not so quick to blame others for not being able to do what I expect them to do or say what I expect them to say. I recognize that it's my capacity to actually communicate effectively. Because there's been a ton of times where I tried to get AI to do something and it just didn't do it, and I was like, AI, grr, this is bad, and then I just had to try harder. Sometimes it is the LLM is a little funky, so it's not always like you're awful. Each of the LLMs have their own personality. Fun fact, like they all kind of respond to a different prompting method a little bit differently, and will take the same instructions in their own way. So keep that in mind too when you're going forward and using different AI tools. Is if you treat it like a human and expect the different personalities of AI, the different LLMs to have different personalities, you'll be better off navigating the world and not being so frustrated that this AI just doesn't work. It's like, oh, this is another personality that I just need to learn how to communicate with. It's just like building a relationship with anybody.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it. But then it knows where you hid the bodies.
Exactly. So you know too much of your hidden secret data because it will snitch. Oh yeah, good stuff. Also, the LLMs will drift over time and change a bit with each model. Yes, dude. I don't know if you've noticed that GPT 3.5 is. I mean, most of the GPT models are like the biggest example of drift as far as like my experience with them. 4.0 mini was super good right when it came out, and then like 6 months later it was kind of dumb again. Same thing happened with 3.5, is it was really good for a while, and then it was just after like 6 or 7 months. 4.0 is, for example, actually I used to be able to run all of my systems with in VAPI with 4.0 mini because it was like smart enough to actually be able to handle the tool calls right, handle the prompting right. But as of like 3 months ago, 4.0 mini kind of stopped performing up to speed, didn't change anything. The model just kind of got worse, so had to move everything back over to 4.0 and started testing Google Gemini Flash -002 when that model came out, just to see if there's like some other alternatives that are better. And so each of the LLMs are actually also to have their own use cases that they're a little bit better for. An open-ended conversation that needs to have a role play, like the AI needs to pretend to be a salesperson and then switch and pretend to be a customer. I could only get that to work with Gemini Flash 1.5-002. I tried all of my prompting methods, all of my little like knowledge-based tricks and function call tricks, and none of it would work. But then I just switched to LLM and it worked. But it's a bit more of a rigid. If you're prompting like a scripted conversation, I don't use Gemini in that case because it will really follow directions and it becomes way too stiff. But if it's a natural open-ended conversation where it's a bit more of a qualitative experience, I'm getting some feedback from the person in real time and kind of just rolling with the punches, then Gemini works really well because it stays true to the rules of the conversation. And if the rules are be flexible, have fun, it'll still be able to be flexible and have fun. Since there's no script involved, it's not defaulting to really scripted stuff. Llama 3.3 is now available for VAPI 2. I was really excited about it, but in my first test of it, like I tested the day it came out, it can't do function calls very well. It ends up in a repeated loop, infinite loop of trying to make the request to the tool. So if I'm trying to check calendar availability or book an appointment, it's like an infinite loop of getting availability. Everything else is really good, but I can't actually use the tool. So it would be a good model to use when you're not actually doing any sort of tool calls. So like, for example, a general like customer service survey, you're just calling out and asking questions and getting feedback and having a natural conversation. You don't need to check calendars or stuff like that. Llama 3.3 -70B, I believe is the latest model that just came out. You can look at the channel logs in VAPI as well to see the new releases, but I'm just making it clear that the different models have different things that they're the best at. Drift does mean some of the older models will eventually not be that great. So here's some new models that are out now that have their own use cases that can kind of replace your old models. But I still use 4.0 now for pretty much anything that needs to be booking appointments or using tool calls, and is like a bit of a structured conversation. Cool. Yes, sir. Okay. What else we got? I got at least 18 more minutes until I have to go do something else. So I'm here for you. I can also try to think of something that might. I mean, I just pretty much spitballed a lot of the stuff that I know is super valuable. I mean, literally everything I talked about today can be used to solve like almost any problem that you have anywhere. But you just remember that it's all about being able to show up, and you figure out where to show up by identifying the bottleneck. That applies for your business. I mean, a lot of the questions here have been great examples. If you don't know how to build systems or like build automations, then you need to show up yourself and go learn that skill by going to YouTube and looking for that skill and watching the videos and showing up to learn the stuff and coming to these meetings here and like learning from other experts. Or you work with somebody who can show up with you and for you, right? So you don't always have to show up yourself. If you're a service provider and you don't actually have the deliverability, the capacity to make the deliverable happen, that's not an excuse to not build your own business. It just means you need to go find somebody who can show up with you to make that that deliverable happen. And then you can offer that to your clients so you can show up for them, because your clients are doing the same thing. They're paying you to just show up for them. So you can also pay somebody to show up with you, or give somebody a cut. And don't be stingy or feel like you can't, invest and afford to work with other people. Because if you're stingy about your willingness to invest, the people that you're attracting to your sales calls are also going to be stingy about their willingness to invest. The energy you put out into the world is the same energy you're going to get back. That is very much true. So be willing to get the support that you need, to ask for help, to accept help when it's offered to you. Obviously make wise decisions, but don't spend all of your time just thinking and thinking and thinking and doing more research and thinking and thinking. Take some action, and that action either means building the skill and building the tool yourself, or going to find somebody that can build it with you. And then you just have to commit to doing it. Like, we typically know what the solution is for our businesses within 5-10 minutes of looking at the problem. We just then come up with alternatives. Oh, well, maybe I have option B, C, D, E to solve this problem, and now I have to compare all the solutions to the problem, and you just end up in this infinite loop of, I gotta watch another YouTube video to figure out if this is the best approach or that's the best approach or whatever, when you already know what the answer is. Just take action and commit to that first decision. Trust your gut and go, because thinking is not an actual business activity. Thinking is not a value producing activity. It does not count. If I asked you what you did today and you told me that you just thought about your business for 4 hours and you did a great job, I would just have to shake my head and tell you you're wrong. Sometimes the hard truth is the only truth that we can accept. So take some action. It's okay if you mess up along the way, but at least you're taking action. You're going to actually learn that way. Cool. But I trust that you guys know that, because you're already here taking action, showing up. So do some more. Reese, what you got?
How would you go about finding people to go on your journey with?
Find the people you resonate with. So if it's like you're building an agency and you want to find people to build your agency with you, if I was biased, I would say reach out to Trey John, and he has a network of people who work with him that he could hook you up with, and then you could hang out with some cool people. If I was unbiased, I would say reach out to Trey. No. Yeah, there's communities all over the place. So you can go to Discord. I mean, there's Vappy has a whole Discord channel. If you're into voice AI specifically, there's cool community groups. It's just about getting engaged and asking questions, sharing your journey. That's going to be the biggest piece. Is if you share what you care about, hey, what you're working on and why you're doing it, really share your story authentically. You're going to attract other people who have similar passions and similar values. Again, I'm going to repeat this: what you put out into the world is what you receive. So if you want to find people who resonate with you, you got to put yourself out there first. You just put yourself out everywhere. Just show up and ask, because there's plenty of people who don't want to have to do it by themselves. And there's a lot of people who have been building the tech by themselves, and now they need somebody who can help with the other business functions, right? They don't understand how to run a business. So it's really common to find tech people who don't know how to run a business, or find salespeople who don't have the tech and don't know how to sell tech without actually selling tech.
Right.
So
two sides of the same coin, sort of.
Exactly.
Right.
So just figure out who you want to be, right? Do you want to be the sales guy, sales business head? Do you want to be the tech delivery head? Do you want to do both?
Is it possible to be both, or?
It takes more time, takes more effort. Typically, when you're getting involved in the space, there's one of two pieces you need. You either need to have a really solid understanding of the business, the market, the niche, right? Or you need to have a really solid understanding of the tech. Because if you have a solid understanding of the tech, you can learn the niche that you're applying it in. You can learn the business. If you have a really solid understanding of the business, you can learn the tech. But if you're trying to learn both from scratch, it's just your learning curve is now so much greater, and it's a bit harder to actually get that momentum going. So if you're going to learn the tech, I would start by focusing on a use case in an industry you already know something about, or maybe you have a friend who runs a business, or somebody, your mom, your dad, whoever, somebody has a business close to you that you can at least start looking at doing some consultation with and starting to build a solution that is specifically impactful for that business. So don't try to just learn both out of nowhere. Try to be able to apply it to something that you have a bit of an understanding or access to an understanding of. I do both. Like I am full on I build all of my own marketing funnels. I build marketing funnels for clients and partners, offer creation for clients and partners. Like everything I just walked you guys through in my presentation today is the exact process I go through step by step with my partners. So when my partners work with me, it's like we start with offer creation, and then we go all the way through to the end, and also that delivery for the people who want to be both. It's like, okay, well, I give them my tools, I teach them how to use my tools, and then they just go use them with my support. But for clients who don't want to learn anything, I don't take them through that step-by-step process. I just internally do that step-by-step process for them and apply the solutions. But you can be both if you want to be. If your hesitation, what I would say is if you want to do both because you don't want to share your profit, that is not the best reason to want to do both. Right. You're now coming at it with a stingy mindset. People, and you're going to end up not being able to do all of this because you're probably also stingy with your time if you're stingy with your money.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So I guess, do you work with a lot of agencies then?
Yep. Primarily, I work with agencies because I found that I could scale better that way. If I work with agencies and agencies work with consultants who have clients, now it's like my agency partner has consultant partners to bring business to them with clients, right? So anytime that you can kind of like work with one person and expand into working with 15 to 20, it's like that's gonna reduce your need to do a lot of business development. But I still like to do done for you systems for the niches that I really have excitement about. Again, I mentioned this early on. If there's a business acquisition opportunity, like if a business comes to me and they're like, hey, we want to buy other businesses, I will gladly run their systems for them because now I'm incentivized to help them grow. I'm going to be a part of that success fee if they're buying businesses. If they're operationalizing those businesses and putting automations in place, I now have projects to automate and put better operations in which case I could get a percentage of that success of the actual business functions. And then when they exit that business in 3 to 5 years and I help them build up the business value in the first place, I am now also in a position where I can get percentage of that exit. I'm thinking like 5 to 10 years ahead of, okay, how do I actually scale to the point where this is not just a one-to-one service delivery or SaaS model, low ticket. I'm like, okay, AI has the potential to completely transform a business and make it the most profitable and valuable thing in investors' eyes. Everybody's just buying and selling something. You can't really get higher than buying and selling a business. The next step after buying and selling one business is bundling them up and buying and selling 10 businesses and then forming, right? So it's like, that is where I'm at, is how can I play the highest level of the game and produce the most value possible so I can end up impacting as many people as possible at the end of the day.
And what sort of businesses would you work for then? The ones that do that?
Literally any, if they have, usually these are like the investment type people. So it would be like venture capital or private equity, right? Anybody who's willing to come in and purchase another business and then put better systems in place and manage it. That's it. Eventually, I won't be working with anybody to do that. I will just be doing it myself. But if I don't have the money to purchase businesses myself right now, so I go partner with somebody who does have the money to purchase businesses, right? Because I need partners too. So if I don't have that thing, I ask for help. So if somebody else has the money to purchase businesses, they're going to purchase them. I'm going to still do all the same work. And then once I have the money to purchase businesses, and the thought process behind this is, again, like if I'm doing the same job to automate somebody else's business, if I'm not buying the business, my commission is like 20%, right? If I buy the business, I'm the one who's keeping 100% of the returns. So it's the same work at the end of the day, especially if you can find a business that already has a digital product, for example, that is producing a lot of value, you don't have to go build a whole new product.
Mhm.
Right? They're already producing value. You just have to get more attention to that product and streamline the operations, which is just AI automation. So,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. There you go. Other niches are just like, I mean, I do some done for you for a law firm. I am willing to do done for you for info product, SaaS companies, digital product, online community coaches that upsell to a one-on-one coaching experience. Again, their low ticket offer doesn't really have a big bottleneck. They can accept infinite members into their community. That's fine for me. Still a digital product with a low need to deliver. But also they have an active database that I can then reach out to and convert, upsell to their one-on-one coaching, and I'll keep a percentage. Cool, that's fine. So yeah, those four: SaaS, info product, marketing agencies. Again, so this is the same agency kind of model. Because if they can do a bunch of lead gen, awesome. Well, typically for a marketing agency, well, their biggest bottleneck is usually their clients can't follow up with the leads that generated for them, so they lose a client after 2 months because they generated a bunch of leads, but they didn't convert because clients can't show up to follow up with leads. So, okay, if I partner with a marketing agency, they can run ads and do all the other stuff that they're already doing to generate leads for themselves and for their clients. I can now put AI in their business so I can help them convert the leads in their business to get more marketing agency clients. And then I can also work inside of their client's business to convert more leads to get better results. So those people pay the marketing agency more, so that marketing agency can go get more clients using my AI systems. Everybody wins in that case. So I keep a percentage of the success for the marketing agency. The marketing agency can now keep a percentage of success for the clients because they're doing lead gen and appointment booking. So there's a commission there, and I keep a success for all of the stuff that happened in that. So it's like everybody makes money together, and we're providing an end-to-end solution now, a full system. Cool. Yeah. Business acquisition is just my personal interest because it aligns with my great goal of buying and selling businesses myself. So that's again where it comes down to, like, make sure that your offer is aligned with who you want to be and how you want to live your life. I want to buy and sell businesses, so I have an offer that allows me to work with businesses that are already doing exactly what I want to be doing. So I'm surrounding myself with the people I want to be around in 5 years. Yeah. Anything else? Does that cover it? Does that give you a good understanding of
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
For my agency partners who want to actually learn the stuff, I have an agency training program where I actually literally work with you. For the first 30 days, we meet twice a week to go through that whole growth system step by step. It's 8 components, so twice a week means we get done in a month. And then I also give you all of my systems, all of my templates, and help you set it up for your first client. And then you actually get to run your own business. You do your sales calls, you do your delivery, but I help you hire when it comes to hiring because I already know people. I have a connection with a staffing agency, so literally I can say, hey, I need somebody to come work for my partner here. Get the person, train them for you, give them to you. So I don't do done for you fulfillment for my agency partners because I teach you to be able to offer a done for you fulfillment system. But I will give you all the resources and the manpower. If you're a business, a marketing agency, SaaS company, business acquisition, like private equity, if you're in that realm, then I will just do the work for those people because I can produce results way quicker if I'm just doing it rather than teaching somebody else to use the system. You can just say, hey, this is what I need the system to do, and then I can actually do it and make sure it runs all the time. Less headache for clients. They end up paying me more money because they don't even have to think about it. It just runs for them. If you've gotten this far, something that you should notice as a pattern is everything that I do is in an effort to make the end user's life as easy as possible, to make the value as simple as possible so that they can just show up to do what they love to do. I will show up everywhere else in their business so they can show up and do what they want to do. So that's why I started this whole conversation with just show up, because like that is the epitome of all of it. Like, hey, you don't want to do all this other stuff, then don't. Show up and do what you want to do so you can live your life. Your business is not a burden, right? Your life is more important than you sacrificing it all to run a business. I want you to actually enjoy the work you do, and I will do the rest. As long as you can, show up to do what you already want to do, we should be fine. So it's like there's no friction there, right? There's no extra work on their part. There's no time to learn a new system. It's just like the only friction is like, did I actually do enough discovery to be able to speak on their actual bottlenecks and clearly understand why they want that transformation, how it's going to change their life. If I did a discovery and like was able to speak their language for 45 minutes, they're not going to have any doubt that I'm the guy who understands their business. If I showed up on my organic content for the last year and a half and I just kept showing up talking about their problems, they're going to trust me when I like, show up in a sales call and say, hey, I understand your problems, because they just nurtured themselves in all of my content. If any of you here, and some of the people in this call today have seen my YouTube and they're like, oh, great content, Trey John, I love it. That's because I show up authentically to provide value. And now if we were on a sales call, you would already know what I can bring to the table. You already know I speak your language. You already know I understand your problems. And if I can give you something that is just a no-brainer, makes your life so easy, it's like there's no reason you wouldn't convert. So as far as generating interest, getting more leads, I'd always say organic content is 100% going to be your best friend. People nurture themselves. Your life is easier. But wherever you're going to show up, whether it's cold outreach or organic outreach, just show up authentically as yourself and care about your ICP. Speak their language and make it clear that you want to understand, like, their business because you care. That's all we need. We just need people to care and make our lives easy. Cool. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up in the next 120 seconds. I'm late. I don't like to be late, but I'm like 2 minutes late. But I don't want to just rush out of here either. Are we all good? Do we have anything else? If you guys,
great. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. If you guys have anything to share, like feedback, something that you learned from this, if you could go to, there's one of two things. I'm actually gonna try my email here. If you could send me an email and tell me what you learned here, or leave me a video just talking about the stuff that you learned and the value that you've gained from this conversation, I would greatly appreciate it. I will likely end up sharing it in my school community just to help other people understand like the value of what we can all do here together. If you're already in my school community, you can just go post a little video about what you learned directly in the school community. Or if you need to meet with me for whatever reason, ideally so we can all make some money together, then just go find the VSL and you can meet with me directly there. But either way, I'd love to get your feedback. That would be what would be the most valuable to me at this point, is understanding what you guys liked about this, what maybe you would have liked to know more about, or where you got a little confused. Anything that I can do better to serve you guys. Future content that you want. I just want to be able to show up for you. So yeah, again, referrals, I will pay you. That's, I think, everything I have to say. I love you. Thank you for your time. I will genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, say that I love you guys. So thanks. Max, again, thank you.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
See you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Max, this was so much fun. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
There's going to be a big checkout page.